Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spot On Show. Today, we will be interviewing Paul Billins Henington. Hello. Hello, and welcome everyone. We're a little bit different time, but as usual, there's always things going on technically. So here we are. Grant us a little bit a delay, but we are going. It looks like the Facebook Live is working today. Yay! And we are under a fortunate time. So good fortune and opportunity is with us right now. And we will be channeling, right? We will be connected and channeling during this interview. I am Renee Rose. I am your host for the Spot On Show, and this is our second season and our second show with Paul. He is an author and is going to be introducing himself and explaining all about his wonderful book. And then we get to hear about his some of his life stories today. So everyone grab on whatever you need and put away everything else as a distraction. Grab a drink if you need it and come on aboard and join the Spot On Show today. And Paul and I, and enjoy yourself. So go ahead. I will turn this all over to you, Paul, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Welcome, everybody. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Paul Billins Henington. And I just wrote a book called Heavenly Lessons this year. And it's based on what I experienced when I was 12 years old. I had the Archangel Michael come and take me out of my body. And he took me on a tour of the universe and showed me all these cool things. And at the end of it, he said, this is what you need to be doing every night. You'll be coming here every evening out of body like I did with you today. And you will be learning the things that you need to know to help others on the planet.
Nice.
So started then. A little backstory before that, I did have a near-death experience when I was 3, and that kind of helped me wake up. And I also had a grandmother and a great aunt that were guardian witches, so they kind of helped me keep grounded when I was doing all my stuff when I was having that happen when I was 3. But basically, this book is the first year and a half about what I experienced. And so it's pretty cool, and it's basically designed to help those that are waking up or are in the process of waking up and to understand a little bit more about what's going on. It's just very basic. I do talk about, of course, the Aquarian age, which is what we're in now and entering into with the transition period ending pretty soon. And we talk about the psychic abilities. I call it the psychic trinity. Then that includes like clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairgustance, stuff like that. And then also there's the different levels of like the seer, the channel, the medium, and the creator, and it's all the different levels, and you raise up the more practice you get. Then also, I didn't mention it in the book because I'm saving it for the next book because that will deal with the 5th dimension, and because that's what we're entering into. But that's the pathic abilities, and that completes the psychic trinity, which is so. And basically with telepathy and empathy, it's a deep connection on a heart level, not just with empathy, but also with the telepathy, because you can connect with the higher mind to somebody. And I'm sure that we've all experienced telepathy to some level on a psychic level. Right. So that basically covers that chapter.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was looking down and sharing, but I was listening to everything. I promise
Right.
you, everyone, I was listening. With the little technical difficulties today, we have to make sure that we can share out. I shared so much, I got in trouble. Oh, you can share afterwards, not before.
Right.
So we'll just have to wait a little bit, and we're going to have to ask our friends in our audience and our family to help share this for us. So the live right now is going on. You can make comments in the live where the Facebook live is, on my timeline. And then if you pick up on wherever we're sharing it right now, you should be able to get into there and be able to make comments. And we're going to look at the comments after we're done with the interview. We're going to do the interview first, and we'll do that later. And then afterwards, we're going to go over to Facebook Live and do it over there too. Hopefully we can get both of us in there. If we can't, well, then we won't do it. But we at least definitely got it today, so I'm so excited. And Paul, you're so awesome. So, okay, that was my first question. That noise in the background must be a bird, I'm assuming?
Yes, there's two birds here. Sorry.
Well, it sounded like screeching. We wanted to make sure it wasn't somebody.
No, there are two birds, 3 cats, and a dog that live here with us. So.
Wow, and they all get along, the birds and the cats.
Yeah, everybody
right?
gets along, but it's a nice little house.
Yes, happy little family.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay. So, back to your book and your story. Yes. You have several different things. So I don't want to. I want you to go ahead what you're ready to say and do, because I've got things later I can ask.
Okay. Well, I can continue talking about the book a little bit if you want. But basically, I also talk about the levels of the soul, because we all reincarnate, of course. That's just the way it goes. So I talk about the different levels. And one is being I call it the nomadic baby level. And that's usually just they're brand new souls. They don't have any attachment to anything yet, no groups or family stuff. They're very young. And there aren't many very young souls like that being born right at this time.
Not anymore.
Yeah, because this planet is ready to shift into the next frequency. And so none of the younger souls are being born here. There are other places that they can be born.
Can I interject on that one? So as the Lionsgate a couple years ago, and now we're able to ascend, and supposedly if you're not able to do it or feel like you can this lifetime because there's too much to go through,
Right.
you can pass over now this time with the idea and the plan that you're going to come right back awaken, so you don't have to do it now, and then finish your ascension in the next lifetime. So it is a question of attachment and detachment right now, because we were doing it 2 years ago completely different. And right now, unless you go through it, and unless we have a friend that goes through it and comes back as a child and is able to emit that in 2 years, they're only 2 years old right now.
Right.
So that's a very good question about what's going on with our children right now as we're ascending, and we're able to drop our karma, and we're able to drop our, those things now are totally affecting us, but that's only the really old souls and the ones that you're going to get to, right? That's at the other end of the spectrum. You're talking about the first level, the first people, not the old souls, the ones that are just coming in. They're almost alien to this world, right?
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of star-seeded people here, but a lot of of course, there's billions of people on the planet now, and so these are all people that have been alive and reincarnating for however millions of years. So that's why we have so many people here right now. And as far as the kids go, that you're looking at, from what I understand from the council, it's starting in 2012. Most of those kids are already awake.
2012. Oh yeah, since a harmonic convergence.
Yes.
12, everything changed and opened up. Yes.
So they're already born awake. They might have karma to work through just like anybody else, but they are awake and they're aware. And you'll see that with most of the younger children if you've ever interacted with them. So.
Yes.
they're pretty awake. So
They're even talking in utero,
yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
I was really amazed. On the phone, I was talking to my best friend who was pregnant, and I came out to help her with the pregnancy. And that child is definitely a little goddess. Was
Oh
born
yeah.
with everything against her, and she came out a 9/9 APGAR scar. So
Oh
she's like,
yeah.
I don't care,
Totally.
I'm an angel.
Yeah, that's just the way it is nowadays. It's just they're all being awake. They're born awake even before they're born. Really, they come in and they're ready. You know, they know what they have to do, and they're really going to be the ones that really save us in the long run. So the whole planet.
Right. She looks at me like I'm old and alien at this point because she's so young and awake and I'm so old school and I really feel old and I know I'm awake and I know I'm right on the cutting edge, but I'm
Right,
still 56 and
right,
I'm still in that, and I'm finding that now that I'm on the edge that I understand now what they're saying about being old school and trying to detach, which is what you're getting ready to talk about. So I've got a comment
right.
about each thing you're going to talk about because I'm right
Okay.
there with you right now.
Oh, we all are. All of
Right?
us. You know, if we've walked this world, we've got to learn to detach and let it go. It's okay to experience it, but you have to kind of step back and allow it to move on and be
But
transmuted
that's
into
the
light.
unconditional people. That's
Yeah.
the loving people. What about the ones that are new and they're just the ones that don't know love and are still learning love? They're
Well,
deep already. They got to learn
well,
to attach.
there are some that we will have to that do refuse to ascend. There are those that because we live in the free will and free choice section of the galaxy, and if they choose to not do that, we have a place for them to go, and it will. I can't really go into full detail about it, but
Okay.
from what I understand, they will be put to sleep and they'll wake up and it'll be like they're missing millions of people or billions of people are gone.
You just won't see them. It's
Right,
kind of a visual thing. It's happening already, right?
right,
The more you wake up, the more you see, the
right,
more you're witnessing, and it's only based on your capability of handling it,
right,
and your permission of openness and willingness. There it is. Your
right,
willingness, right?
right. Yes. Well, again, it's all again the free will. If you want to do this, which most people should want to, I mean, my goodness, wouldn't you want to go into a higher vibration where you're whatever you want comes to reality? That's why it's so good.
Yes. I want to be perfect in my imperfection, like I am now, but just on a better
Well,
level, more
but
higher frequency.
but you are already perfect on a
Exactly.
level.
That's what I said.
Better.
I'm perfect in my imperfection, but I just want to do it on a higher frequency
Right,
with a
right,
healthier body now.
right. Well, you can make that happen. That's just it. We have the power within us to do everything we need. So, and that's what we really need to focus on in this time. But
And
anyways,
that's what I've been doing. That's what I've
yeah,
been doing. Cellular regeneration for
yes,
25 years. That's why I don't look 56, because I
yes,
could talk about it. And I decided that people weren't listening 25 years ago. So I decided to do it so
right,
that when 20 years, 10, 20 years
right,
down the road, I could now show it.
right,
Now, I didn't go younger. And every now and then when I'm very, very stressed, I'll age a little bit. But the
right.
rest of the time, I pretty much hold it. But I can
Yeah,
tell when I've gone through a real stressful time, like I just had a little dime of white show up in my hair. And it's been my dark nights of my soul the last couple of years. So I'm sure
oh
a
yeah,
little bit of that stress would show.
right,
But for the most part, now we're going to such deeper levels and they're upgrading that. And that's all the
right,
things that I'm channeling right now is the newer,
right.
more upgraded ways to communicate with that. And I'm so excited about it.
I know
I
it's
mean,
awesome,
we
isn't
can
it?
do. I know all the things that they said. Oh, you can't do that before. I have to kind of pull back now and bring
Right,
back
right.
up and go. Wait a minute, I could do that before. I mean, you were astral traveling, weren't you? Also, when you were young.
Yes, oh yes, I've been
I mean,
astral
that's what this
traveling.
is about.
Yeah, I was astral traveling from 12 to 18 when I was in the classroom every night. And that's when I learned all the different things that I talk about and some of the things I talk about in the book. I
Well,
didn't do
nobody talks about it.
Yeah, and that's
So
why.
I'm glad you talked about it. Yeah,
Well,
thank you for
they
talking about
said
it.
it's time to let it get it out there and get it published because it's time to share with the world this knowledge because this is something that needs to be talked about because
Yeah.
it's so and it's
And we thought it was cool. We thought everybody knew about it. I mean, why does it? They're like, oh no, that's woo woo. We don't want to hear about that. Oh no, 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 no,
right,
no,
right,
no. And now they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't want to watch commercials anymore. Let's go watch some channelings.
right.
You know, it's like let's find out some new news and laugh, or let's find out what's going on and tap in. And thank God we're getting, we're getting honored and respected, and we're
Right.
able to channel because this is the way it is. I mean, everybody needs to learn to channel themselves so they can get their own
Yeah,
information, tap in, and then there's no more convincing. Everybody
right,
will just tap in, they'll turn into love and unconditional love, and
right.
voila, the whole world will be better. Isn't it that
Oh,
easy?
yes, definitely. Definitely. I agree completely. And
It
I tell
would
you,
be if the world was just men. If it was all men and simple, we could do it. But God also made women, and we love to be complex. And so I'm doing really good at trying to express all of that in the most simplest way and calm, even though everyone loves all the energy and everything. But man, when I get sacred and serious,
yeah,
it's serious love. It's unconditional love, and
that's
there's no
right. That's the
joking
way it's
about it.
supposed to be. Love is fun because it's light, but it's also serious
And
when
sacred.
and sacred. Well, it is. That's what it is. Jesus says it in the Bible. God is love.
Right?
So,
And our
you
creator
know,
created us. Our creator created us in God's image, which is loving energy, and it's
right,
100% pure
right.
love at the highest frequency possible.
Yes.
So that's how we're created. It's not necessarily the male or female thing. It's the blending of the two on
Right.
all ways, many
Right.
ways
And
of
that's what
sacred
we're all
love.
going. That's what many people are going through right now is the finding that balance within themselves of the male female energy because as we move up into the energies if you think of the Kabbalah that's what's happening we're
Yes.
moving up and becoming one with the sacred divine which is neither male nor female it's both.
Oh, it's all energy,
Right,
energy.
right.
Right. And that's the thing. Once you really do grasp it's energy, but it's literally pure unconditional love.
Yeah, that's all there
So
is.
that's it. It's just how do you put it and contain it? You don't.
You know,
It's a
you can't
free open
you,
energy.
hold on, I'm going to skip forward. Let
That's
me
fine.
find my notes.
We jumped around a bunch because I'm kind of
That's
like that.
okay.
I do that. I move
No,
quick, so
that's
I jump
perfectly okay.
fast.
I have to get my stuff here. Okay. So, we can talk about love if you want, because that's in my book too. That's the last chapter. Love and
All
laughter.
right. Well, I will let yes, that's the last. And I'm dyslexic, so I manage to always do the last first. So I will
That's
let you do it. I will listen and
part of
we will
it.
listen. Yep, we will listen and enjoy and listen to, because I'd love to look at your book and read it.
Okay, great. The first thing with it talks about I talk about the 9 aspects of love. And I'm not talking about conditional love and I go into a discussion about the different things how they've talked about it over the years, like from when St. Francis talked about it, the erotic love, the whatever I don't have it on my notes right here, but it's the different levels, the agape love, the erotic love, and then the other, that kind of thing. But what we're talking about is the higher unconditional love where everything is wonderful. And that's where I developed this 9 aspects of love. And that's what they taught me here also in the class.
Nice.
So the first one is being receptive. It's so important to be receptive to receiving because we're so taught in our society that all we can do is give. And I've heard this 10,000 times, and I'm guilty of it. I didn't like receiving from people because I felt guilty. But that's not unconditional love, because you need to receive as well as give. Because,
there's the opposite side of it is maybe expecting it as well.
right. Don't expect it. Just be open, and that's the whole point. Then another thing is being honest, not just with yourself, but with everybody that you interact with, because you're trying to show that authenticity to them, and that opens them up to seeing and being that true love, and helps you raise your energies, which is what it's all about. And then, of course, forgiveness, the most important thing. We have to forgive ourselves, and we have to forgive others, and we have to, because we walk in life, we're going to hurt others too, so we have to ask for forgiveness from them as well. So forgiveness is a very important thing. It's also one of the hardest things to do as a human being, but we have to do it to raise our vibration. And once you release that through forgiveness, your energy just shifts like that. It's like an
it does right away. Right away. Gratefulness and that forgiveness are the two that you feel the epiphany right through your body, almost like an elation.
Yes. I feel titillated.
Oh, I like that word, titillation. Because I usually say orgasm. So I think a body orgasm, I think titillation might be just a little bit more accepted than orgasm, body orgasm. But that's what I say. Love yourself so much that your body reacts, your body responds.
Yes. Your body is your closest energy receptor to what's going on in the etheric.
And everything.
So it's going to respond to what you're feeling in a very active way. And that's why you feel that. So the next one is compassion. Feeling compassion for your brothers and sisters out there, whatever they're going through. And that's why it's so important to hear them and, let them know that you feel that compassion and you want to be there for them.
Absolutely.
And then another one is the expression of affection. Now, I know that with the Me Too movement, we don't want to express inappropriately. So, but
how about
a hug is okay. A hug is okay. Yeah.
Fully expressing with control.
Right. Well, we don't want to grab somebody inappropriately.
How about fully honorably expressing yourself with honor? Yeah, fully expressing yourself with honor.
As long as you're doing it with somebody and you know that they're good, that they know that you're not wanting to do anything bad to them. You can say, I give them a hug, and sometimes if I'm feeling a lot of love, I'll just give them a little peck on the cheek or the forehead. That's okay. It's okay. It's just affectionate. That's all.
Right. It's and there's a respect and there's an honor. So there is that for society. We kind of have to.
Right.
And personal boundaries. But it all depends on that person. So once that person has said, okay, my boundaries are out here 20 miles out, and the other one says, no, my boundaries are about a half an inch off my body.
Right. Well, that gets into a whole different area. But you can sense that if you are awake and aware, and you're coming from that place of love. Some people don't do that, so you just respect that space, and that's part of what that unconditional love is, the respect, which, goes back to the honesty and being receptive. And then another one, of course, is joy, one of my favorites.
Yes. Happy, joy. Happy, joy.
Yes, that's part of what love is. It's the actual expression of love, joy.
And I have to say that, 20 years at least, I was solidly put down for being too happy, too sweet, and too joyful. I had to curb it, literally. And we have we have a chat room that we just love on and meme. And that's all we do. We send memes and love all the time. Everyone else, kind of thinks it's a little childish, but they don't understand that we have to have a place to express our happy, joy, happy, joy. When we get into that really loving place
Yes, yes.
There's no room for anything else but jumping around like a little fairy or a little girl.
That is the expression of joy, and that is beautiful.
That's right.
That's an awesome thing that you're doing that. So it's great.
That's right. And that's what I love that term, jumping around happy joy like a fairy, because it's absolutely the way it's supposed to be, right?
That's
You're
right.
supposed to be granting wishes and getting people so excited and happy that they're even wanting to make wishes.
Well, I tell you, I've had the same thing with me. People would criticize me because my laugh is very loud and boisterous. And it's one of my greatest gifts from God, in my opinion. Because
it is. I love your beautiful, happy cherub laugh. It's beautiful and angelic and poo-poo to anyone that doesn't like it.
I agree. So that's it. I'm like, hey, if you don't like it, you don't have to hang out. You'll never lose me in a crowd.
No, listen to that. Oh, I do love your laugh. Yeah, well, you never miss me either.
True.
I mean, because we're either jumping up and down, or our auras are jumping up and down, or our voices, our laughter is carrying across the top of the crowd, because it's lighter. When you're joyfully laughing, the energy that emits with it is so much lighter. It floats above everything, in a sense, not because it's better than anything. It's just because it's lighter. It floats higher when it's a higher vibrancy. It's lighter and it floats more.
Right. Well, and laughter, I don't know if you know this, but anytime you have a really good laugh, it massages every organ in your body.
Oh, no, I know it's healing, but I didn't know necessarily why.
It does.
I just figured the joy.
You have a really good belly laugh, it gets in, it vibrates all the frequencies. It helps, like you said, raise that frequency up. So that's why. So we'll talk about that. But yes, I love laughter. I have my laugh is copyrighted, so I get a little money and from my agents, so it's nice. But my goal in life is, or at some point, my wish, I should say, one of my greatest wishes is to have everybody in the world laugh at the same instant. Because I believe if everybody in the world laughs at the same time, we'll pop and snap and go up into that next dimension right then.
There you go. I've been trying to figure out how to get everyone to love or make love, and that one's a little bit harder.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I may not have to see it, but hey, that would be
I get into trouble with that, but we can have people laugh. I mean, I do that freely every day. I try to smile at least to people every day and try to get them to smile, if not laugh.
Always smiling, and always, if I, when I go into the store, the grocery store or something, and someone's frowning at the cashier or whatever, I say, hey, how's your day? And I smile at them, make them smile, make them feel important, because that's important to get that connection.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Why not start it right now? Let's pick a day like February 22nd or like 2020, like 2/2, like February 20, maybe 2/20. How about February 20 on 2020? How about 2/20/2020? That's a good day.
Sure, whatever.
That's like right after Valentine's Day too. So let's make February 20th at 2:22, and then we'll have to pick a universal. Let's do Greenwich Mean Time.
Okay.
At 2:22, it will be the universal laugh second. And by that time, we'll have to come up with something that we can all share on all of our stuff a minute or two just before that'll make everyone across the world laugh.
That's right. That sounds awesome. Let's do it.
It'll have to be a universal laugh. Okay, I got that. I'm going to write that down. So get back to
universal laugh day.
Yes, universal laugh day. Yes, just like that.
Let's do it.
Back in the book.
I think you told me that was an important day for inspiration for me.
It's a good numerology day, and for 22, when we get to, well, I guess we can't do 2222. That's going to be that's 200 years away. So the best we're going to get, the best we're going to get is 2020 and 2022 maybe. So we could still do February 22nd for that also. So we could have a follow up.
Sure, why not?
So now we got 2 dates.
Let's keep building up and see what happens.
Why not? Because let's lead and circle right back around to what you're talking about.
Right.
When it's unconditional love and it's God inspired.
Yes.
Miracles, infinite possibilities. Yeah. And during the fortunate time, like right now, where Jupiter is fortunate with the moon, there's infinite opportunities and fortunate things. That's the best time to create possibilities, and God bless.
Mm-hmm. Let's put it out there. That'd be awesome.
Just like that.
Let's go. Let's do this.
We can do it. When I get out of Facebook jail, I'll start promoting it everywhere. At least we can do it. I can pop out a page really fast. I'm a page popper and a group popper. Oh man, I can have a group out in a minute. But a page is good enough. We'll just create an event, and we'll take 2 events, and off we go, just like that.
That sounds good.
Last day. Yeah.
Do it.
I've tried to do the make love day. It just didn't work. So let's do the laugh day.
Well, I mean, I also say that if you make love, that if everybody made love at the same time and orgasmed at the same time, we'd all.
I think what would happen is, to be honest with you, if we all, when we do shift, to the 5th dimension and understand what unconditional love is, and practice it and practice it and practice it as much as we perfectly can. And then if we were able to, after being able to get people to just laugh and have a specific connect. I mean, we did hands across America. We did hands. We've done many different things with music connections and stuff. But if we were able to morph it, you know what I mean, from laughing, something simple, into making love and to orgasming at the same time, that's like sex magic. But when you're able to do it on a very high level, which is where you're getting to at the end of the book here, right? If we all were able to do it all at the same time, I think if we were in the 5th dimension as we did it, that we would literally shoot up past into at least the 8th dimension, which is almost heavenly, and probably go right up to the 12th, dimension right away, because we would all be loving on a universal galactic level. And God only knows. I don't know. Has anyone ever done it before?
I don't know. I'll have to find out. I'll have to ask.
That's a very good counsel question. There we go. I'm all about with the wisdom, I'm all about the questions. The questions are the most important thing. So that's a great galactic question. Has any planet ever achieved universal orgasmic transformation at the same time?
That is an interesting question.
Oh, wouldn't that be creation? Oh, wouldn't that be creation?
It would be, yes.
Yeah, that would be creation. That would be what we do regularly. That wasn't that difficult. Look how simple that was.
Oh, there's a couple more things.
Go ahead.
That list, the gratitude, of course. Everybody knows. And then the last one is fearlessness. Because you cannot be afraid to confront yourself and to go where you've never been before. Because sometimes as we're waking up and moving into higher frequencies, we're being challenged by the higher energies to go to places that we've never been. And we have to have that fearlessness.
That's your dark night of your soul, right? It starts teaching you to face your fears, and when you run to your fears, the fear runs away. When you start realizing you're more powerful, you become invincible. I was going after immortality, but that's not it. It's more invincibility. You're absolutely right. That's another chunk that most people don't talk about. But until you're there, you don't realize it, right? It's always there, and I'm always chasing it. And it's never been immortality. It's always been, when I knew that there was life after death and reincarnation, I automatically knew I was invincible.
Right. Yeah, because we are. Because when we're living in true unconditional love, we are fearless, totally fearless, because we can go where the angels fear to tread.
I never really thought of it that way, but okay, here we go. Okay. Woo. Yeah, because I don't fear. I mean, I never, when I understood the heaven and hell and the God and the devil, I put everybody on the same level. And I really I love everyone. I love all angels, fallen and not. I love all of them. I love everybody, good, bad, and indifferent. I love them all. And as a minister, I had to learn to absolve and go one step further.
Right.
And that takes some heavy non-judgment and some big forgiveness. And that's another level, is most people don't feel their mission to become necessarily a minister, but on the sacred spiritual level, that's up there too, I think.
Oh, sure. Anything that anybody's doing, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a minister. You can be,
Right.
it's whatever you choose to do that is the most important, because you have to be yourself. And whatever your mission is, it could be simple, which is fine, because it's still divine.
Divine and sacred love, and I'll bring in the astrology and human design here.
Yeah.
We're set up with our own little design, and when you learn who you are and what you want and don't want, what your passion for life is, you learn yourself as a divine and a design, like a piece of the puzzle. And when you understand your design and how you can go out and interact with others and fit in with their design, the life design creates that big picture. You know,
Right.
and it's very important that you live yourself and you live your life and you express yourself fully, so that your design has a full expression and a full vibrant frequency of your loving light body. Because
Right.
when you go out and and live your design with everybody else doing the same thing, when we all connect on the higher level and pull all that together and
Right.
we share it with love, we're living our design. That's exactly what we're trying to achieve on a bigger scale, where we're all connected with love. We're
Right.
doing it, but not necessarily with love.
Right. Right. That's why we have to have love, because that is going to be the most important thing in the fifth dimension. Because you can't function in the fifth without that love, that unconditional love, because it is the way, the only way. It is, as I call it, the new morality. And
But I thought everybody loved, and they were all learning unconditional love. But unfortunately, I found out that's not the case. That there are people that do not understand love, that have maybe never had a moment of happiness in their life, and they do not believe or are connected to the Creator. They're definitely in darker places, I would say, but they are capable and they deserve just as much love as everyone else.
sure, but that's also what they chose to do in this
That's
lifetime.
right. That's right.
Uh, so we don't have the right to judge them. They have to,
No.
wherever it is that they need to be, and if they don't choose to walk into love unconditionally and be unconditional love, then they will have to, we'll have to figure out something.
I got one on that. Okay, so what I like to do, because I try to be as godly and positive thinking and high vibrancy, right?
Right.
So, like I just said, everyone's living their design in that piece of the puzzle. Some people are ultra light and some people are ultra dark. So they made the choice to be a little more dark. And I didn't mean that negative. I just meant a
Yeah.
little more dark. Okay, so they're a little bit more in their dark, because the puzzle, the picture has to have some dark places.
Right.
Just as much as it has to have light places.
Right, because everything, it's one of the laws of the universe, which is the law of balance. We have to have balance. So there has to be the light and the dark. In order to understand both sides, we have to experience both sides. Sometimes in one lifetime, sometimes in through multiple lifetimes. That's what it's all about. I mean, it's not, that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just what you have to go through as a soul.
I think people expect they're looking for the big grandeur expectation. You know, they think it's always these big rainbows and all these big the galactic things, and
Come
usually
on,
it's
butterflies
simple.
and puppy dog barrel. I tell you what.
Until you get there.
It's still a fun road. And you know, it is a hard work to get to you know, where we are, you and I, but it's worth the effort to do it.
It's a lot of inner work. A lot of people are working on going outside and
Yeah,
understanding
I know, and
outside, but it's,
I find that very upsetting sometimes, because I think that they're missing the point of what spiritual work is about. Spiritual work is inner work, and working on this person here and the soul, and that connection to your own God within you, that is that spark within us all. Because that's what it means in Genesis. It says when we're created in His image, that we have that spark within us to be divine.
I see it inside my cells. The nucleus of the cell, I see the God spark, and then when I did a quantum hypnosis, they kind of like activated the rest of the cell, and they said that that's the light of everybody. So we got billions of cells. So I see the God spark in the nucleus, and then I see each person in a different around the nucleus in the cell, and then I see the innate field around the cells, and inside that innate field is where I go to communicate. I was communicating from my mastermind up here and from my heart, but now with the new information, I'm going into the space in between the cells and talking in there, and then innate is much more understanding. And now I understand that besides asking the cells to just regenerate perfectly round and stay youthful, we can ask them to do things, and that's where we can manifest inside there too, besides the one in the heart. So I'm taking to different levels. Finally,
yeah, you can do anything you want, really and truly. It's just limited by what you're accepting.
You think, right? It's your own blocks and your own things.
Isn't that what Marianne Williamson talked about in her books? Basically, and it's you know, and it's all funny because it's the quantum mechanics and stuff with the string theory, which is what I think it's the string going through everything. And if you know, I live out in the middle of a national forest, so I'm always out there. So it's very calm, and I feel, you know, I love just sitting out by the pond and, you know, just being quiet and feeling all the trees, the wind blowing through it, feeling the fish in the pond and the birds in the trees. It's just very nice because you can really become one with everything, and you can feel it in everyone. You know, you kind of need to be careful when you get out into crowded areas because, you know, people have different energy frequencies.
Right, absolutely.
But you know, if you can get out in nature, that's one of the ways I connect with, you know, everything and people and all like that, is just by going out in nature and just spreading my auric field, my awareness out, and connecting with stuff. So, but I talk to trees.
It kind of depends on where you. It kind of depends on where you are. Like here in the desert, we don't have as much grass, but depending on what city, you know, where you're at.
But out there, you're still in nature.
Yes, exactly. Nature is nature.
Yeah,
that's right. We just don't hug our cacti.
Right. Well, and cacti talk to you. You just have to get in touch.
Oh yes. Oh, and they're the one tree that actually has the shortest little roots. And I swear to God, they get up and they move at night when no one's looking. But that's just between us and them. But again, you can, they have little faces on them where the little holes where the woodpeckers usually peck out holes and stuff. And they'll end up with faces. And in between the cactus pricks, there's always a space of the cactus. So you can reach in between and you can touch them even if it's just with the finger. You
Right.
can touch them, and because I like to touch a tree, I like to hug trees, but cactus, they're a little more tricky. But you can get in there and you can touch them, and once you touch them, you just send them all your love, and they're like, "Ooh!" I mean,
Yeah.
they like instantly respond,
Right.
much different than a regular tree. A regular tree is so full of wood and so deep
Yeah.
that it shivers and it smiles and it likes you, and you can feel the little hug back and the little smile. But with a cactus, it literally shakes a little.
Yeah.
It's different. And if you're really in touch with nature, you will understand that there's a loving energy around everything.
Oh yeah. That's why it's so important. That really helps you get in touch with that love too. I think connecting to nature, and even in the desert, because I was out there at Sedona in Phoenix this summer. I did a workshop out there, so it was good.
Oh, Sedona's awesome. I love
Yeah.
Sedona. Sedona's beautiful. All the vortexes and the shifting. So,
Oh
so
yes.
okay. So back to your book. These are the different things that you discovered. Were you channeling when you were doing this? Yeah, and then you wrote it later.
This stuff was the stuff that I just discussed about the different aspects of love. They are some of the stuff that I channeled when I was writing this book.
Okay.
Because the most important thing, as I've said, is the numerality of love. And so I wanted to just go into what I felt were aspects of unconditional love to help give it a better grasp for people, so that because unconditional love, you can say that, but so many people don't really realize what unconditional love is. And they tend to put labels on things, and this kind of helps understand in real simple terms of how you can do it, how you can be receptive and honest and have that unconditional love, and allow that frequency to open your heart chakra fully and raise the frequency, because that's what's happening right now is the from the heart all the way up to just above the third eye, it's becoming one big chakra.
Nice.
So all these higher energies will be opening up, and so that's why it's so important to have that grounding in the heart, because the lower three are becoming one as well. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then there'll be one above.
Okay. That would make sense. The sacral
Yeah,
and the solar and the
yeah,
root, and then you got your heart and your throat, which
right,
is your speaking, and then you got your third eye and your crown up
right,
above.
right,
Okay.
right. You got it. So that's why it's shifting. And part of what I do when I teach my workshop from the book, at the end, I had Archangel Metatron downloaded some information that he wanted me to do to people that take this class, because it's for those people that are awake and are ready to do what they're here to do, their divine purpose, whatever that
Your
is.
next divine, yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's not always a mission, sometimes it's just purpose and
yeah,
journey.
yeah. Whatever it is, it can be. It doesn't have to be like, you know, go out there and feed the poor. It can just be of service. Go out there
That's
and
right.
you take care of animals or take care of nature. Whatever it is, it's something that
That's right.
that individual's here to do. But I call it the angelic activation, and it activates this chakra here, from the heart to the sky. I call it the sky of the heart. It's a brand new chakra that's coming in just above the third eye.
Okay.
It's about the size of a needle head. It's very, very small. And once I do the activation, I speak the language of light, and I do the dance of light around it, and they wake up and they're ready to go. So
Yay!
yeah,
I
so,
like that.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
okay, so now you have homework.
yeah. I send them out.
Okay, so
Go see
here
the
it
world with
comes.
new eyes.
Yes, here it comes. Okay, so how about if we just make it simple and do the 9 different levels of unconditional love, and we'll just make a nice little cute, picture of it, and then we'll also do, um, oh, you got it. Okay, there you go. And then we'll also do a nice, promo for your. I'm sure you've already got that too for your classes and stuff,
Yes.
and be able to show people how to be able to do that, because That's, I mean, yeah, I mean, we try all of our own ways to help people to wake up, but if you've channeled an actual activation that they can come to, and that's awesome. And enough people should be able to grab that and help share that around for you.
Right.
Because it's a lot of us, like I deal a lot with other psychics and coaches. Okay, so I don't deal and other light workers. I'm not necessarily dealing with people that are just waking up.
Right.
So the people that
Okay.
are, yeah, they can share it around. I mean,
Sure.
everywhere.
Well, no, and that's what I'm doing. I teach at the school that I'm attending, which is Delphi University. Have you ever heard of that? So
No, that's great.
so I teach there. No one's responded yet, so that's why I'm doing this, hoping that people might be interested or get the word out. That's the whole point of what I'm doing, is to help people want to read the book and come to the classes that I'm teaching. And it's just a one-day class. It's not hard. And
It's only the beginning. You got more. You got more.
I've got many more books to write.
Yes, you do. I see them. At first, I saw 3, then I saw 7, and then I saw 5. So I see about 7 possibly ahead of you.
I was supposed to do at least 14 more.
Okay, so I see at least 7 right now. So those I can see. So that's good, right?
Yeah. I keep a little notebook. I jot things down, and I'll come back to them later, and I'll write stuff on it. So yeah, I'm very open to spirit, and I have been since I was little. And it's just the way I function.
That's awesome.
I've always been an odd kid.
Yay, I'm glad. More unique. Yes, and that's the thing, because if we just got in mainstream, they're like, what? But you still got a book, you can still do it. But
Right.
Are you down with the YouTube channel? Because we can, get started with that too.
Sure. I'm happy to do that. In fact, I was thinking about doing my workshop online, and and since I'm hoping by the spring I'll start doing some tours with my book, like going to Austin. Might go back to Phoenix for some book signings and stuff like that, and maybe offer the activation if people want it, if they've taken the online thing from YouTube. So.
Oh, that's a good question. You can do it online. It doesn't have to be in person.
Right. I could do it I'm happy to teach it online, and then they can get their certificate once I connect with them and do the activation.
What about somebody who's awake?
Well, I can still do it for the activation without reading the book.
I want it. I want to activate it right up there. I mean, I got all kinds of activations. I want another one. Okay. I'm ready for more. There's never enough activations as far as I'm concerned.
There are supposed to be 3. This one is, I call it the intergalactic classroom, and you get this activation with that. So,
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
This is the first one. You're supposed to receive 3 times. You can receive it one after the other, but it's recommended to kind of let it settle in, because it's it's a little intense, believe me. Yeah.
Well, if it's going up to the libraries or the classrooms, that's intense. Yeah. Those are very intense.
Intense than that. It'll really open you up to things that you didn't think you were aware of.
Well, there's always more. That's the thing. I've learned there's never. Yeah, there's always more until you die, and then there's even more.
Right.
You're always opening up and always awakening.
Oh, yeah, well, that's part of what evolution is about. We're always opening. We're never static, because that's impossible, because the universe is not static. It's always changing. That's the law of entropy.
Right. So when we do this, we're going to go over to Facebook Live now, and we're going to try to see if we can do an interview like this. I don't know if B Live works. I'm not sure, but I don't know if we can pull in. But we're going to go over there and try that next. But no matter what, I'll be able to upload this afterwards to Facebook.
Okay.
And we will have a Facebook recording of this on the on my YouTube channel. But what I'll do is I'll actually make a playlist with your name on it, and I'll put you in the channel that says friends, and you'll look down and you'll see Paul's down there and your own playlist. And then what I can do is, as you're uploading things, you can actually upload it right to the playlist on my channel.
Okay.
But what I'll do is, you can look around and learn through the channel, and then I'll help you set your channel up, or you can at least get it set up when the time's right, like today before 8:30. And then I'll help you, because the rest of it's a big learning curve with how to post it and upload it, and it's not that difficult. It's if somebody shows you or is willing to help you. So, I'm one of those technical angels that I help people.
I need help with that.
Yeah, because besides promoting for people, that's what I'm doing with the interviews, is the people that aren't technical, because our higher level angels and gods and goddesses aren't always technical. They're barely even tapped into the planet. So we need to be able to get this information out, and the universe provides. When it's all godly, the connections happen, the synchronicities happen, and somebody shows you something, someone helps you here, someone else comes along. So while you're manifesting, that straight line of expecting exactly what you want doesn't necessarily happen, because the universe brings it in so many different ways of doing just one simple little thing, like a little interview right now. Seems simple, but it's not. It's divinely synchronistic and inspired, and it creates all kinds of possibilities. This is where the magic begins.
That's right. I do teach classes at Delphi University. You can go to delphiu.com, and they list all the classes that I'll be teaching. It'll be starting next year. I'll be doing it there. Maybe once a month or every other month, depending on my schedule and what their availability is too.
Where can we find that? Where's the best way to find it? On your Facebook group, or in the? You can add it to the event, but
you can go to if you go to Google, you can search for delphiu.com. They have a website, and they also offer really awesome classes. They have a PhD in metaphysics and transpersonal psychology, which I believe is probably, the Rohan is probably the most powerful tool we have right now to clearing all those blocks and stuff that we have developed over.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so that's just a little side hit there.
That's okay. It's just usually when we mention something, I like to add it later, and for some reason Facebook doesn't want a whole lot of links advertising things, especially off Facebook. So I try to put them all in something else, like in the event, or a link to where you're on your website.
I will post it on my Facebook page for Heavenly Lessons. I try to tell people where I'll be and where I'll be teaching the workshop. And just go on and like the page, and you can follow me there.
Okay, then that's it. The page will work, and this will have the event. Sometimes the event goes. So, okay, so that'll be perfect. We can put everything on there. Plus, we have the YouTube coming afterwards. I'm looking here to see if we have any comments. Linda popped in. Hello, Linda. Welcome. Thank you for supporting the show and for commenting. Let's see. She says, Renee, you and Paul have excitable laughter and energy. Awesome. So she definitely used our laughter and our energy together. I knew when I met you that I loved you right away.
Oh, me too.
I wasn't concerned about what we were even going to talk about. I was just happy when I met you that another loving soul that, I can love on and with everybody else.
Right.
And so that's what she's doing. She's loving on you. Let's see. And Jean Kirkham and Latifa Wilenga both popped in and were watching. And then I popped in and said hello. So we're all caught up on that. That's good. And it must be working well. Looks like the audio is working. Both the pictures, the color, everything's looking great. So is there anything else you would like to promote or add as far as websites, links, or anything like that?
Just my Facebook page. I've got to go in and redo my Facebook, my website. I'm not a very technical person like you.
Okay, but I'm your friend now. I can show you Wix. It's free, and I can get you set up for a free, quick website too.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I have a website. I just don't know how to do it the right way.
Well, then it's not a good website if you can't do it yourself. So you can go onto GoDaddy for $20 and buy a site, and then go to Wix and you cut and paste a website, and then you just forward it over to GoDaddy, and you got a free site with no hosting, and you didn't have to do anything, and you actually can go into Wix because it's a cut and paste thing, and people who are novices or beginners can actually do it themselves. It's just a basic 3-5 page template, but it's all you need when all you're trying to do is get a contact page and a page with your promotions, your intro page, and that's all you're doing. If you're not doing it with your site, it's you might as well go right to Wix and do it for free. And YouTube is not that difficult. It's a little bit of a learning curve. And once you're in, like Flynn, you're going, and our information, getting it out there, I find now, is probably the top priority over all the other things we're doing. Is getting that information out so the public is saturated with it.
Yeah.
Saturated. It's saturated with all the other stuff.
Right.
It can be saturated with angels laughing and smiling and loving and healing everyone.
That's right.
Why not? I mean, they'll find their way. They'll resonate over to it.
Right.
This has been very good. I'm very happy. It was very loving, very high energy, and it's exactly in tune with the ascension and everything we're doing right now, right here, being very present, very loving, and very much on the cutting edge now.
Yeah.
So as a channeler, unless there's something else you want to say or promote, I would love to maybe tap into the council or something that you have that higher level. I tap into my higher self, and then I kind of stay there. So I'm more of a mystic and an astrologer, where you are like straight up channeler. So is there any message or information or something you'd like to do or say for everyone?
Just be love.
How about the event? Do you have any information that you can share about the event? Is there actually going to be one, or is it just going to be a transition? Is it just a transition for everyone? Or is there
transition right now?
Right, that's what I feel.
There is another possibility of an event possibility, May 25th, 2025, but I'm not real sure about that. That's a possibility. It just depends on what happens. I don't really want to talk about it too much right at the moment, but
yeah, that's okay. But that's another 525, right? So those numbers matter in 2020. There's going to be a lot of those numerological and astrological. Both are going to be like, there's going to be a lot of events that are going to be happening this
next year. We're going to see some huge transitions and changes happening, not just on an individual level, but on a worldwide level. I don't want to say anything because I don't.
That's fine.
But it's definitely going to be quite dramatic next year.
Yeah, 2020 is going to be interesting. That's why you want to be able to be as loving as possible, holding loving space.
Don't
you want to be able
to coast next year.
Be on the coast. Go inward. Go inland.
Don't be on the Gulf Coast or the Atlantic coast.
Well, what about poor little Hawaii?
Hawaii's fine. She's protected.
Right, because of the vortex, the opening there, the portal there. So, and I've already been tapping, because our healing circle every Wednesday. I mean, either guy is popping up or they're pulling us down in all the time, and we're just doing a healing circle, but they're not letting it be because there's so much going on. It's like, it's okay. Come on in. It's okay. We're going to come on out. I mean, they are so close. And what is the possibility okay, we talk about, we know all the armadas are out there, but they're not going to hurt anyone. They're not going to, the universal law is not to affect anyone, not to shock anyone, not to hurt anyone.
Right.
So we have Belzar. What I can't even think of Belzar. Belkazar? No, we have the one alien that's above Sedona, that people are pretty familiar with, and then we have the ones that are popping up in Mexico that are coming out from inside. And to me, an ancient earthly civilization that showed up and said, "Hey, we're just ancient. We're just went inside." We'd be, I think, much more accepting, because I was saying, how can we do this and make it comfortable for everyone? And so they just naturally started showing me by popping up into the healing circles, into the different things we're doing. And it's like, I get a little nervous when that happens, but with these channelings now, things are just, you just kind of have to let it go, huh?
Right.
You kind of have to, that's that fearlessness you were talking about.
Yes, you have to be fearless in the face of what's happening, because there are going to be significant changes, and we have to make sure that we're grounded and that we are completely in the light, and we have our frequency from the heart and the higher mind, and we are all walking together as one. And we feel that oneness with each other, because it is very important to be able to cope with what is going to be taking place next year.
Absolutely.
Because the earth is shifting into a higher frequency, and whenever something like that happens, I mean, the last time it happened, the axis shifted, and we had a snap ice age where it froze an entire mastodon.
Right? They said it's going to get a little colder. Beware of it getting colder, yeah, because a lot of things, anything, and we are shifting the pole. Things are, it's all happening. People just don't realize it.
And I think that George Carlin was right. Do you know George Carlin?
I love George.
You know what he said? He said, one of these days, Mother Earth is just going to shake us off like a bad case of fleas.
And he's up there watching now, right?
Yeah,
he is. He's laughing at us because now he knows everything. Right. Now the joke's on us now.
Right. Well, no, that's why it's important that's why it's important to walk in the light and be in that unified thing, because the more you're in that higher frequency, you won't be affected by all these earthly changes that are happening.
That's right, because we're going through it ahead of time to help people when they go through it. We've already gone through it, so we can hindsight 2020. And it's like, it seems like it's when you finally start grasping and understanding that there is something happening, the first thing is fear. So we have to help them through their fear, right? Immediately, right?
Well, and that's why it's. Have you ever heard of the Merkaba meditation? Mm-hmm. That's the one where you are transforming yourself into a ship of light, and that you can take others with you. And that's what I think that we all need to start practicing, is that Merkaba meditation, so that we can bring people with us and raise their vibration. Because you can't step into it if you're not at a higher frequency already, or at least trying to wake up. And that will help to wake them up, because the energy is that way. That's what's happening. So, and that's what nobody's talking about.
No, because most of we are amongst ourselves, but that's only 1% maybe.
Right.
Okay, so think about 8 billion people. So most of them are, more than 50% are not necessarily awake yet. So that's 4 billion to 5 billion people at least that are not aware, not awake, and are afraid possibly. Yeah. So they're not even talking about an event. They don't even believe it. So they're not even talking about it. And when they open up just enough to become aware, the first thing is the fear is like, oh my God, am I going to be ready? Am I going to get to go? Am I going to be okay? Because everyone thinks about themselves mostly anyway, right? I mean, until you get to the higher level. But mostly it's about fear. So the first thing I see with people is automatically saying, don't worry. everything's perfect the way it is. You're already okay just the way you are. However, if you choose to raise up your frequency and your vibration level, and your sacredness and your positiveness, you will glide through this dark nights of the soul, or the dark nights of maybe the earth or the planet or whatever, or maybe even Gaia's labor pains. Whatever this is going through, it might help you more if you were in your loving heart space and understand it, a
Right.
connection with the creator. Because everyone's like, what does it mean? What is this event? What does 5D mean? What are we doing? And when you say, really,
Well,
it's
and
about
that's what my next book is going to be about. I'm going to talk about some of the universal laws and explain what it means to be in the 5D. So hopefully I'll get that out sometime next year, and get that published, and hopefully get that out too. Because it's important. I mean,
That's right.
it?
You better hurry up and read it. It's coming quick.
I'll get it written. Don't worry. I've got it all kind of outlined. I just got to write it.
I know we've only got a couple more months till 2020. So here's the thing. Oh, today is fortunate, right? Until 8 Eastern Standard Time, 8. So you've got all this time right now to start these little projects. We created a couple new things, so I'm so excited. So it's time to start all your projects. Don't do it. Just start them all right now, because and right now is always the Scorpio moon, the big moon. So right now, under a fortunate time, this is so perfect for creativity. So right now, start a bunch of things, and then you've got on Halloween, you've got the retrograde coming for 3 weeks, and then we're going to roll into Thanksgiving, which is going to be the holidays. So we're going to be eating, and then we got a couple of weeks or a little bit of time for Christmas and get all that prepared, and then boom, we're going to have New Year's. So we don't have much time, and we've got that 3 weeks of retrograde to get all those projects done. So, I hope that you can, push the book out during that time, maybe, so that it can launch before 2020, because a lot of major launches are coming on 2020 that right at New Year's.
I can make it happen before 2020. It's just a matter of coming up with, I'll just let it go to the universe.
Exactly. There you go. See, God, please help Paul's book manifest sooner, because people have to actually read it, and then they've got to activate, and then they've got to practice, and then they got to experience, and then they got to be ready for this event. Right. So we need it to get in their hands much faster, and many, many, many people. There are over 5 billion people we are talking about that would love to read this book. Can you please help us manifest this now, please? Thank you, because all the energy is coming, and this is the time to do it. And can we make a wish and can we help grant the wish? Okay, so I wish that Paul's book can get out by 2020 so it can help more people. Can I? Okay, granted. Boing.
Okay. Yay. Okay.
God bless. So I got my God blessing on one side as a minister, and then I got the wishing side as an angel on the other side. So we'll get that book of yours out, because I've been wanting to so much, and I have just not been able to get any writing or any book out. So I'm going to cast my energy with you.
I'm going to grant you a wish that you get yours written and you get yours out.
I'm talking. I'm going to do audio books. I don't have time to write. So I'm going to put my creative writing author energy into you, because you're writing just about what I would want to write about, which is the ascension and waking up, and all about love and unconditional love. So why would I redo something that's already perfect? I'll endorse yours. You're welcome. Everybody, I don't have time to do your book. You already did it, thank goodness.
Right. Well,
but I can
just have to do the physical writing where I'm sitting and writing it out, but I've got it outlined already. So
awesome. Well, then God bless you, and get it out, and I'll help you promote it, and we'll help you promote it. And because there's at least 5 billion people that need to read it.
Right. Right.
It's a lot of people, right? And we
Yeah.
can God spark them all. We'll just God spark
That's
them
right.
all,
That's
right? 'Cause
right.
they want to ascend. They want love and they want the connection with the creator. They want
Yes.
to become co-creators too. And wait till they find out they're creators.
I know, right? They're going to be like, what? I can do this?
You mean I'm an angel? Oh, that takes about 10 years just to handle being an angel.
Right.
I mean, it's taken us like 20 years, right? It's taken us 50 years to grow into our human suit and be able
Right.
to express ourselves fully,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. And now we're becoming superhumans.
Well, oh, there you go. Full circle, because that's exactly the first thing I wanted to say when you were talking about invincibility. We
Yeah.
have all the Marvel heroes. This is the time of heroes.
Yes.
This is the time of heroes, and heroes are going to be fortified and weaponized with love and truth
That's right. That is
and the
true.
light. So we can come up with new Wonder Women and
Yeah.
lighthouses and star seeds, and we can be heroes on our own. You know,
Right.
we can get our little outfits and our capes and
That's
our
right.
magic wands. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my little outfit, and every Wishing Wednesday, I'm going for it. I'm not letting anyone cut my joy back anymore.
That's right. You shouldn't. You should be you. Who cares about anybody else?
I have so much fun when I'm being me.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. If people tell you not to, then they're expressing their fear and projecting that onto you.
Well, not anymore. They can't
That's
anymore.
right. That's right. You just get them to laugh, just like you, just be you.
That's what the real Renee came out for, because I am a minister, so I do preach, but I
Right.
do roar out the truth as well. So
Right.
it's the lioness is roaring, but at the same time the preacher's preaching. You know, it's like either rah or it's compassionate preaching. You know,
Right. Right.
but it's still going to be it's going to be talons. Or claws, right? Either way, depending on what mood I'm in, it's going to be animal. So okay, so let's see how I think that's we've covered just about everything. I'm trying to think of anything else we might need to say before we sign off here and go over to YouTube.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm good.
Okay, so as far as the Spot On show goes, we are very spontaneous. We don't have anything set up as far as when they are. They just come up. I give you a couple weeks notice when they're coming up. The Weekend Warrior now, I'm hoping to put a show out at least once a weekend. So it's either going to be the Spot On show, an Astro Chat, or the Galactic Gathering, or the Real Renee Roaring. So that's my open door for you, Paul. The Galactic Gathering is something I'm going to get started rolling and hopefully be going by 2020. And what we're doing is we've talked about it so I can finish it and actually have it come up in the next few weeks. But it's actually a Galactic Gathering roundtable, like a table talk situation where we're doing just what we're doing today, but rather than an interview, we're just going to everyone get together and talk about what's going on right now as a channeling. Basically, we all channel. And it's going to be, I don't know whether I'm going to do it monthly or bi-monthly, and it's going to be any of the past Spot On.
Oh, cool. Sure, I'd be honored to participate. And again, thank you for having me tonight and doing this, because it's been a real special, and I had a wonderful time. I thank you for allowing me to be here.
You're absolutely welcome, and I'm glad you're part of the Spot On tribe now. And like I said, you'll be able to jump in on our Galactic Gathering Table Talk. And I think we're going to have a very beautiful, unique group of loving, enlightened beings, and starting that everyone will be able to find us in 2020 and tap in, and hopefully we can do it monthly, maybe the middle of the month, and and be able to maybe pick the 13th. I like the 13th. But we'll pick a good day, maybe the 8th. I don't know. We'll pick up something. We'll pick a day and maybe do this. I really want to get it rolling because I think it's going to really morph into something The universe has got something planned, just like for you. So it's all going to unfold here soon. So then we hopefully will all be seeing Paul coming back, and we'll be interjecting some of his stuff on the Spot On page, and you'll be seeing some of his things popping up as well now. And after this, we'll go over to YouTube. So if you're seeing this now on the YouTube channel or on Facebook or wherever you're absolutely tapped into and being able to see this, we thank you very much for your patronage and your support. We are over on Patreon. We are everywhere you can find the Spot On Show, and we are so glad that you are with us. And if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. And don't forget to ring the little bell and make little comments afterwards. And if you enjoyed the show, please like and say something about it if you can. And thank you one more time. We appreciate it, Paul and I. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We love you, and see you next time on the Spot. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care. Take care. Yay. Okay.
Okay.
It's still on. Yay.